Have you ever looked into a mirror and seen another life staring back at you? Welcome to Tallies of the Glass House, where even the smallest wish can become your greatest nightmare. Laura, a single mother living in a quiet Texas suburb, spends every night sitting by her window. Across the street, she watches Megan, a woman her age, laughing with her husband and daughter, living the kind of life Laura once dreamed of: a happy family, a perfect home, everything shining. Sometimes Laura whispers to herself, "Why am I trapped in this small, invisible life?" That night, she looked into her bathroom mirror and murmured, "I wish I could live her life just for one day." The lights flickered, and in the reflection, those eyes staring back at her weren't hers anymore. Laura woke up in a luxurious bedroom filled with the scent of expensive perfume. A family photo sat on the nightstand. Her face, smiling beside a man and a teenage girl, but the name on the frame said the Parkers. She had become Megan. Everything looked perfect except the silence. Her husband, a polished lawyer, barely looked at her over breakfast. Her daughter stared with cold, suspicious eyes. When Laura stepped into the bathroom, the mirror fogged, and behind the steam, she saw herself, the old Laura, knocking softly on the glass, smiling eerily. You wanted her life, then pay the price. A thin crack spread across the mirror like a spider's web. Days passed. Laura played the role of Megan. Perfect wife, perfect mother, perfect lie. Fancy dinners, glittering parties, empty laughter. But every night she heard it tick, tick, faint knocking from the mirror. When she looked closer, she saw distorted flashes, a real self, trapped behind the glass, screaming soundlessly. She tried to tell her husband, "Don't you hear it? Someone's in the mirror." He only frowned. "Are you taking your pills again, Megan?" The world began to twist. Doors curved, clocks spun backward, and the once warm light of the house turned cold and blue, like glass about to shatter. If you're still listening, follow this channel, because from here on, nothing will ever be the same. One night, Laura heard her daughter whispering through the door, "Mom, I know you're not my real mom." Her voice was low, too low, echoing like it came from inside the mirror. Laura burst into the room, empty. But the reflection on the wall showed the old Laura. Laura, standing right behind her. "Give me my life back." The reflection hissed. Laura screamed, and through the mirror, it shattered midair. The shards hung, suspended, floating around her. Each fragment reflected a different truth. Megan laughing, Laura crying, a child reaching for someone who wasn't there. And in that chaos, Laura finally saw it. None of them were truly happy. The house began to collapse, its walls turning to sharp, glowing glass. A cold voice echoed from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Every wish has a cost. You wanted her life, so who should live yours?" Laura cried out, "I never wanted her pain. I just wanted happiness for my son." The voice softened, almost kind. "Tengo back. Black. But remember, never look into the mirror at night again. She closed her eyes as everything exploded into a million fragments of light. Laura woke up. Her tiny apartment. Eli, her little boy, sleeping soundly beside her. The morning sun poured through the window, warm and real. She looked into the mirror. Her reflection smiled back. Just her. Outside, across the street, Magan's house stood still and silent, empty. Dust covered the windows. Laura smiled gently and whispered, "No one really knows what lies behind another person's happiness, but at least this life is real." Have you ever wished to live someone else's life? Tell me in the comments, would you choose your own happiness or someone else's? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the edge between reality and the things we wish for.